Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Interworks Curator Public Sector User Group. So yeah, sorry for anybody who I've not said hello to since about 12:30. We are recording the call, as Vicky mentioned there, and today we are going to be discussing all things Interworks Curator. So why are we here? I guess to begin with, we want to sort of introduce new faces from a Interworks perspective, as we see on here. I'm going to step through each of us in a second, and we'll hopefully be working with you closely over the next weeks and months and years, hopefully. So the other sort of objective here is to allow you to meet each other, so to see what each other are doing with the tool in the Interworks community, look at the features that you're all leveraging, get to know each other, hopefully, in terms of creating a community around the Interworks Curator product, especially in the public sector, as well as learning from each other and reducing any sort of perceived silos of knowledge in the public sector as well. I want to keep the session as informal as possible, so please feel free to ask questions, as Vicky mentioned, either throwing them in the chat or when we have a selection of Q&A sessions that we'll go through in the agenda on the next slide. So just wanted to introduce you to the Interworks team. So a few of these faces you'll probably be aware of and know already. On the left here, we've got Rowan. Rowan Bradnam is here on the call and works to deliver solutions to the public sector. He looks after several of the public sector accounts, and I'm sure he's known to a lot of you on the call. We also have this handsome chap Dan, who's also here. He is our commercial guru. For all things public sector. So if you're interested in any additional Curator installations or anything from a partner products point of view of any of the partner products that we deal with or use at Interworks, Dan's your man. So please feel free to reach out. We've also got the lovely Vicky Lockett, who was just introducing the call there. So you'll know Vicky from any of the community events that we run at Interworks in EMEA. So webinars and the Pro Assist community, that those Rowan's asking if Dan is the handsome chap. Rowan, you're handsome as well. Sorry. So yeah, you'll know Vicky's voice from our content there, and also work with the Interworks blog as well, which hopefully people are aware of. I'm Max down the bottom right. Bottom left, sorry. So as Vicky mentioned, I'm a solutions architect with Interworks. Been here for about 6 years now, actually. And the solutions team, which some of you may be aware of, some of you may not be, we're sort of a cross-functional group of consultants that listen to clients, especially to help them make a success of their data platforms in their entirety. And I'm sure, as many of you are aware, there's lots of moving pieces and lots of moving components to getting success out of your BI products, whether it's data engineering work or enablement work, or design or implementing new platforms to synergize with the platforms that you've got in there already, be it Curator might be an example of that if you've got that front end requirement, and sort of external people looking at your Tableau dashboards, for instance, or ThoughtSpot dashboards, and also things like data IQ or again SQL expertise and that sort of idea. So we're here to kind of optimize your entire solution to fit the needs of your organization, and I'm also looking forward to working with a few of you in more closely over the next coming weeks, months, and years, hopefully. We also have Steffi and Mohammed from our Curator team. So these are Steffi and Mohammed are technical support within the Curator support and development team, based in Berlin and London, respectively. And they're going to be running through some of the new features of the Curator tool with us today, in a live demonstration session later on, which does bring me to the agenda for this afternoon's webinar workshop. So today's session, we're going to be starting off again by just saying hello, which I'm doing currently. and talking about the basic vision of today's session. We're then going to hopefully get you guys to come off mute a little bit and discuss and introduce yourselves. A couple of minutes intro from each of the organisations would be fantastic. So chat amongst yourselves if one of you want to come off mute and give a quick 2-minute introduction on the following slide, which would be fantastic to hear from everybody. Just to discuss what you do with the Curator product, who you are, what your organisation is looking to achieve with Curator, and how you've been working towards that goal. We're then going to dive into a presentation by Tom, which will be looking at Health Education England and the Curator instance and what they've managed to achieve with that product as well. So looking forward to that one, and then we'll finally have some Q&As on that presentation as well. So yeah, please be ready to ask and answer any questions that you may have. Then we're going to be diving into Mohammed and Steffi's presentation on the new features of Curator, the latest release of the product, and how you can leverage those features to enhance the solution of Curator that you've got already. And then we're going to dive into another presentation by Paul Barnard, who is also on the call, where we're going to be looking at the journey of digital transformation that Paul and the team have been through at Gloucestershire. And then Q&A on that, and then we'll hopefully jump into a final presentation by Victoria Cornelius, who I can't see on the list. Let me know if you are here, Victoria, but we'll come back to that one. And then finally we'll wrap up, say goodbye, talk about next steps and that kind of idea. So hopefully that sounds good. That's in line with everybody's expectation here. So I guess to start us off, we've got some introductions, right? So you've heard from us from Interworks. I've introduced everyone at Interworks. So I was wondering if I could ask somebody from each of the organisations to quickly introduce themselves and what they do with the Interworks Curator product. Who wants to go first? Anyone from Greater Manchester?
Yeah, Alan Slack.
Thanks, Alan.
NHS Greater Manchester. Yeah, well, I've been involved with the Curator, so I'm a senior workforce information analyst. So I've been involved with the workforce section of our Curator platform, and so we're still developing it. It's under development. We've got Tableau dashboards for workforce related things linked in, and we're also developing forms so people can like specifically a workforce planning form, so people can go on, enter data into the forms, and then view their data in a linked dashboard, which should update with their most recent entry, and then they can edit the entries as well.
Oh, fantastic! Is that using the data management add-on, or is it using a separate integration?
Oh yeah, it's using the data manager section in the back end. Yeah,
brilliant, amazing. Thanks a lot for that, Alan. That's super interesting. Who else have we got? Anyone from Southern Health here?
Oh yeah. Sorry, Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Data and Insights. Hi, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Chris, my colleague, is on the call as well. So we've been Tableau users just coming up to 8 years. We launched our Curator instance last year. So we basically Curator fixed a number of, is fixing a number of issues we had where the Tableau server itself just couldn't find anything really poor, being able to actually lay anything out in a meaningful way. We have a lot of reports where they're kind of relevant to different services. So the way we've kind of done things is provide each service with its own kind of menu link. So they think they're getting a personalized experience, but of course it's just linking through to the same kind of, instances of the report. So we're only maintaining one thing. And the big help, I think, as well as being able to put things, on our menu page around if we've got data issues with not having received information, and being able to put help and guidance alongside it. I think we've still got a long way to go with it. There's a load more things we can do. So that's why we're kind of looking forward to seeing what others have done today.
Amazing. That sounds absolutely perfect. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the amount that Curator can do, and the amount of the simple things that it's got so many bells and whistles, but actually a lot of the benefit that you get from Curator is it's a simple portal that allows you to reorganize some of the chaos that can often ensue in a Tableau server installation. So yeah, that sounds amazing. Cool, thanks, Mark. AAC, do we have anyone from AAC?
You do. Leighton Coombe.
Hi, Leighton.
I'm the Performance and Evaluation Lead in NHS England in the Innovation Research and Life Sciences Group. So we use Tableau dashboards for our strategic and operational reporting. We haven't started to use Curator yet, but everything that everybody else has described are all the sorts of things that we're wanting to see in our dashboards. Really just giving people a seamless navigation around it, having the menus that people can click on and get a tailored view of where they're up to. So that's it.
Smashing. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I've always heard that Tableau Server is kind of feels like a product that people have to learn, whereas the idea with Curator is that you kind of get rid of that kind of overhead, that sort of feeling that you have to learn anything really. It should just behave like any other website, and everything should be kind of nice and seamless. So, yeah, hopefully that's a goal that that would resonate, Lane. Amazing. Do you have anyone else that wants to introduce themselves quickly before we get into it? You don't have to. Don't want to pressurize anyone into coming off mute that doesn't want to. But anyway, it's great to have everybody here. I think we've got about 17 people in total on the call. So to kick us off with the presentations that we're going to be running through, the various different presentations that we're going to be running through today, I wanted to introduce Tom Inkler from Health Education England. So again, today we've got a few guest speakers that will discuss their implementations of Curator within their organisations. And Tom is joining us as the Head of Business Intelligence Platforms at Health Education England.